That's a good jam, ain't it? Not liking that? Come on, get up. Feel on it. Turn it down. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. How's everybody doing? Good?
Our little small town where we are.
Where's it at? Lost my bait.
Is a small community.
Bear with me.
30 minutes from Memphis. Probably
Oh,
500 people lived in
Come
it.
on.
And it was a country setting. Everyone knew everyone. There was no such thing as crime in the East.
Oh,
So that day on August 7th, 1992, we didn't
hold on, y'all.
that this could happen.
Jill Roberts was home as usual last Friday morning when her husband left about
Holy shit, are
9:30.
you kidding me?
That was the last time he saw
How'd you get up here on the
Alan
floor?
Roberts reportedly
There it
received
is.
a ransom call, but apparently didn't get much information. This past Friday
I'm coming, y'all. Bear with me. Please. I'm sorry. I'm a bit fired up this morning. And we got an unexpected guest. I seen he was doing a live. And I thought I'd holler at him. He was getting ready to end his. So he's free to join us. Mr. Andrew Hiltz. Andrew, morning.
Doing?
What's up?
Oh, getting ready to pack up and move.
Oh, here we go again. You gonna actually move this time, or you gonna change your mind?
No. We're actually getting ready to move. The house has changed hands with landlords, so we don't like the new one, so we are going to be moving. We've been looking into a lot of houses.
Right.
So nothing wrong with that.
You
Morning,
looking to
everyone.
buy, rent? What you up to?
We're hoping to get rent to own.
Dude, that's how I got my house. I got one more year left, and my house is paid for, and that's how I did it.
I like it. Nice. What happened to your usual studio, bud? I see you're in your room.
My studio happens to be in Brandy's office, and Brandy's working currently, so she, you know how that goes.
Oh yeah. But
Are you
I
changing
do.
locations?
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're hoping to get something in the next town over because it's where my wife works, and $200 every 2 weeks to get her back and forth to work is a bit much.
Oh yeah, no shit. What is cost of living's pretty high where you're at, ain't it?
Well, they want 1900 for a 2-bedroom house right now. So
A month?
yeah.
Holy shit. Wow. Why don't you move somewhere where it's better?
That's what we're trying to do. It just takes a bit of time. I mean, we had to save up the money and make sure other bills of ours is zeroed out.
I hear you. Hi, Uncle Delvin.
Well, I gotta honestly say the new job. The wife has this job for about 6 months now, and the pay is awesome. So.
Yeah, it's hard to leave a good job, ain't it?
Oh well, but that's why we're trying to get closer. Right. And I have to apologize now. Apparently, the stalker in my channel has joined over to yours.
Who would that be?
Twinkles.
Twinkles, we I don't know how things operate, but we're not going to take a bunch of that here. We'll get rid of that. We're here to have conversation and be respectful to one another. So you're more than welcome to stay if you can abide by that. Moving forward, Andrew, I've been listening to you lately, and you've been making a little bit of sense. It seems like you're putting in kind of some effort to figuring out, what's going on with the Summers case. I'm proud of you a little bit. Don't get a big head.
Oh, no, definitely not. I just there's a lot of rumors and things that and evil things, and I just want to get to know where she was raised, the land, and to see if some of these things might make actual sense. That's why last week I went over the property first because that's her home. That's where she would play. That's where she was raised. I mean, to get to know the child herself, you got to get to know the type of area she lived in and what she did and what she could have possibly done growing up.
Get a better feel for her as I get what you're saying.
Get a better feel as she's a human and not just a case.
What are you leaning toward right now as to what happened?
In all honesty, I mean, what I'm leaning towards right at this minute is that there are so many ins and outs right there on that 11.27 acres of land that she possibly could have been taken, and nobody would have known. Because there's been people that's been on that property that says due to the denseness of that little bit of wooded area between the house and Benton Hill Road that they couldn't even see the road itself, so you can't really see the end of their driveway.
Right.
And then you got the maintenance road right at the end of their property that goes to where the power line is. Yeah, right there. That right there.
This area?
Yep. That right there up to where it says Beach Creek actually on the bottom left side, where that little gorge or whatever is. That's actually the end of their property line.
Yeah.
But right there's the little outlet for them to get to the power lines.
Yeah.
And then you have where the creek is itself, and there's just so much up there that it's not even funny. There's too many ways to get in and out. And then you have where 120 was sitting, which was on Beach Creek side. And that's now part of 110 as well. So, I mean, it's crazy.
Here's the turnoff.
Yep. You can't give it back 2 years ago. You could have gone down that road.
Right.
With Google Maps.
Oh, you could?
Yeah. You could go down that road with Google Maps. Now you can't.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
Yep.
There's the driveway.
Yep. Yeah, but you see what I mean? I mean, with all the thicket and with how thick those bushes and everything are, you really can't see the bottom of that driveway.
Okay, so I feel you on that. If somebody wanted to do that, they could. Okay, here's my thing though. It wasn't a stranger.
No, I don't believe it was either.
There's no way in hell you made yourself to 110 Ben Hill Road and found her like that. I don't buy that unless she was away from the property and had been down at the road. Possibly that's the only way I could see that.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, that's a whole lot of property though.
Yeah.
And that covers 2 roads.
You got to know what you're looking for, definitely.
Yeah, but I mean, if it was a stranger, I'm saying if it was, you got to what? It's anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes outside to get to any normal town.
Yeah.
And you're telling me a random stranger that's going to drive that to go pick up a kid and then drive it back to get rid of a kid? It makes no sense.
It didn't happen. It's not a stranger.
No,
And-
it had to be somebody close. And that's why I came down to my conclusion is that Grandis was around when Rose went missing. And now
Yeah.
Grandis is there when Summer's missing. And
Odd.
well, I'm saying if you get away, if you got away with it once, you get kind of a big head to do it again.
I tell you, Grandis always came off cold as hell to me.
Oh yeah,
Just like ice, you know?
it's
She didn't seem to have no emotion when she talks about the story. Does H says Grandis was with him at the swimming hole, right?
yep.
God, it is so odd how she talks about that in that interview, ain't it?
Oh yeah. But here's the
She
thing.
she
Hunter
acts
Story
like she wasn't there.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Hunter's story ain't changed.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I'm just.
Oh no, but I'm
I'm
saying
just-
if
it's
he was
odd.
writing about something, it would have changed over time. Because it's very hard for a teenager, let alone an adult, to keep a consistent lie running.
Well, you know, I've always been fair with H. I think.
Yeah,
I've always said I don't think he had nothing to do with anything. I think if anything, he was used as a pawn for an alibi in some way.
or they were
I'm with
trying
you.
to use them, but he wound up having. But the way I look at it is that I believe that they were going to use them, but his doctor's appointment was a key factor they didn't key in.
Right. How is he? Is he all right?
He's all right for
Okay.
the most part. I mean, as much as I'm allowed to say due to the light of recent events. I just got done doing a whole bunch of red tape, so here's hoping that they make the choice within the next 6 months, and not wait till he ages out. So, I mean, do I believe he'd do better here in ways? But do I also believe he's going to still be, a little bit of the wild child that he is? Yeah.
Well, we all were at his age, you know.
Oh, yeah. Listen, at his age, I wasn't in a group home. I was in jail.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I spent some time, a short amount of time overnight in jail. I'm not going to, judge anybody for what they do when they're his age.
most of my 17s and into my 18s, I was maybe not in jail all of like 6 months.
Tennessee Blonde says, John Don on Doug's channel last night told him he doesn't know about a knee brace. Never heard of one. What do you think?
A knee brace.
Well, they say Grandis had the knee brace, and that was after the appointment. That's what Candace was doing when Summer disappeared, adjusting the brace. It's odd that Don would not know that. I don't know what to think of that.
I mean, was there any pictures of her having one? I mean, for right now, all I think is that's just hearsay until we see proof.
I've never seen it.
That's what I'm saying. If I recall, I ain't never seen one.
Hello, Jaded, Miss Ponge. I plead the fifth. Twinkles, Funny Face Brenda, and Anna's Angels. Welcome. Andrew, my biggest thing to do with H is I think the texts that were sent to him from Candace showed how inappropriate she could be with a minor.
Oh yeah, and that was my biggest thing because I also heard that the tree trimmers, when they were cleaning out the trees by the power line, one of them nicked the line, and there was no power in the house for a while that day.
Really?
Yeah. And so my thing is, why didn't she take the boys to begin with? Because apparently, by Don's story, he was working,
Right.
and Grandis was at the hospital.
Right.
So you're going to leave your children home alone?
To go pick up somebody else's.
Yeah. I
Are
mean,
you-
this day and age. Listen, this day and age, I don't trust my kids going outside without a phone on them.
Oh, hell yes. I totally agree.
But I mean, that might be different in Tennessee than it is here, but I'm not sure.
Do those texts bother you?
Huh?
Do the texts that she sent him bother you?
Oh yeah, it
That's
actually
bad.
ticks me off.
I tell you, being a dad myself, I have a son the exact same age. I would be really upset if a woman of her age was having that kind of conversation with my son.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just, I
Well,
think,
when I found out about it, I was extremely pissed off, and this was before I, came up here on the YouTube scene and started defending my son, trying to keep people away from Jose because Jose, really didn't need to be involved. I literally called up Allison and I sent her the screenshots, and I'm like, listen, what the hell is this shit? She's like, oh, they're just joking around, da da da. I'm like, no, you don't joke around with a minor like that at your age.
exactly.
Like that don't make. I mean, it don't smell right. It don't look right, and I don't care what kind of a mindset an adult has. That's wrong on so many levels.
Yes, it is. And Allison seems to me like she was really loose with what she allowed Hunter to be involved in and around and all that.
Well, if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, bud, according to the paperwork that I have, it has been deemed that she has zero structure in her home for the children.
Oh, yeah. I could 100% see that.
And according to New York, I am overly strict. If that makes any sense.
Overly strict.
Yeah. I run a tight ship, dude. I lived my life on the wrong side of the road. I don't want my kids to do that. I've seen what that does to you. You lose friends, family, you lose the stuff you own, homes. I don't want my kids to go through that lifestyle.
You need to get H with you and try to help him out.
Bud, I'm gonna tell you, okay? It's not on me anymore. I did everything I was supposed to do, and now it's on Tennessee. What they choose to do next is on them.
So, is it currently up in the air? Is that what the status is? You're waiting for a decision, or?
Yep, waiting for that decision.
Yeah.
But yet again, this decision should have been made in 20 to 21. No, sorry, 21 to 22. That decision should have already been made, but the person that was head of the case at the time in Tennessee dropped the ball.
Right.
So now here we are again in 23, going back over it.
One thing H said, though, in his McDonough interview that I found interesting, since we was talking about Brandis, is that was kind of H's suspect, wasn't it?
Yup. But I never put two and two together. That was the thing, because, as you know, I was trying to stay away from it as much as possible because you could see that it was starting to affect my health, my home life, everything.
Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to step back from it for a little bit until I could get my head a hell of a lot more clear than what it was.
Right.
And
we all got to step back from it sometime.
Oh, yeah. That's why, if you notice, I've always said just take a step back, take a break from it, come back with it with a clear mind and better eyes. He is old enough to make that decision, but that decision was taken from him by the state.
Yeah.
So I do apologize, guys. I can only say so much.
I get
and
it.
I'm doing the best I can here. Go ahead.
Where's Allison been? Nobody's seen her for quite a while, huh?
She is under CPS orders to stay off the YouTubes.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, she lost all but one of her kids.
Really? Well, how do you lose kids but keep one?
She's
How does that
18.
work?
She's 18.
Oh, okay. So she lost all of her kids that she had guardianship of.
Yep.
And no YouTube, huh?
No YouTube. She's not supposed to be on YouTube anywhere.
That's interesting. I don't understand that.
Well, but apparently she dropped the ball in a lot of places.
Apparently.
Oh yeah. Because God bless Leslie, by the way. God rest her soul. One of the things is Allison never registered him into school after Leslie's passing.
Really?
Yup.
Now, when Summer went missing,
Mm-hmm.
Allison was at a football practice with Leslie, correct?
I believe so, yes. At least that's the only thing consistent.
Dude, I swear, I think Allison makes a good suspect for
Have
a
you-
few reasons.
Have you gone over each panel she's been on, including my own?
I've seen a lot. I don't know that I've seen it all.
A lot. Her story changes every panel.
Well, here's the thing, man. Also, a lot of people, I don't know if they realize this. Allison claims during the time Summer disappeared, her cell phone was dead.
And then how are you picking up a call from Hunter?
She called from. She got the call from Leslie's phone, is what I understood.
That's a good point. But why are you carrying around a dead cell phone?
Why are you going to a football practice? Because you know Allison is not interested in football.
Oh, we know that.
And not making damn sure your cell phone's charged. Because every interview I've ever watched of her, that cell phone is in her face pretty much the whole time.
Well, I know front. You see me and my cell phones are with me 24/7.
Well, most everybody's is. You're going to go to a football practice and not make sure that thing's charged so you have something to amuse yourself with?
Exactly. Funny face Brenda asks if Hunter has a girlfriend from here. No. Excuse me. No, Hunter doesn't have a girlfriend from here.
I wasn't going to ask a ton of questions about H because I think he deserves his privacy at his age. And, I just, what he's already said, I find interesting, especially about Grandis being his suspect. Well, he didn't say she was his suspect, but he kind of said he thought, how did he put it? Do you remember exactly?
No, I ain't watched that in a while. I don't exactly remember.
But he pointed at it. He thought Grandis was mean and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, he did say she was mean. But my question, but that all falls back into the factor is that she was there with Rose going missing and now this.
Yeah, it's a hell of a coincidence, ain't it? Allison said H was messed up that night on the floor, rocking in his room. Did Candace buy or give him THC gummies?
Maybe. I mean, but yet again, I mean, it also could have been but also if you look at the light of that day, what he is consistent on, he was with his girlfriend, so they could have gotten into an argument.
Right.
And that could have dealt with that.
Right. And, another thing, I seen a video a long time ago. This was right after Summer disappeared. And somebody had went down to the swimming hole, I want to say a day or two after. And do you know that place was littered with twisted teas?
No, I didn't. Because, mind you, I didn't know nothing about this until 3 days after.
Well, we know they admit to one, right?
Yeah. But what makes us, but here's the thing. Put two and two together. If they're admitting to one, what makes you so sure a few of them others aren't theirs?
it makes you wonder, man. It's a hell of a coincidence. It happens to be the exact same thing, ain't it?
Uh-huh. The exact
Dude,
same size, the exact same kind. I mean, it really don't. Again, it don't look right. It don't smell right.
And you know, I can kind of put myself in H's shoes as you know, this woman's going to buy you vapes and drinks. I would hang out, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're 16 or 15, and you know,
Listen,
I just,
when I was that young, I was hanging out with cats that would buy me drink.
right. And I feel like I really feel like it's the odd part is Candace doing it, really.
Yeah. But I mean, when I was his age, I was hanging out with elder gentlemen and, you know, their significant others. I wasn't hanging out with elder females at that age, you know?
Right.
I mean, we are in a whole new era, so I'm not really sure how that shit works.
Well, I mean, it's odd that Candace made the choices she did that day.
Yeah.
Leaving her own son's home to come pick yours up.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I can't get past that point. I cannot get over that. Like, why are you going to leave your children at home and go pick up Hunter? Why exactly did you do that?
I can't get to it to say. I feel like that if Candace has something to do with this, she used H as a pawn and an alibi to show that Summer was okay up until that point, at least.
Yeah, that's what it's becoming to look like. But I mean, at his age of being 15 at the time, I mean, anybody who buys you vapes or alcohol, you're gonna stick up for, and you're gonna you know, defend through and through, because that's your source of alcohol and vapes.
Right. And you know, I think especially as a young person, you're going to you're not going to snitch, is what
No.
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a weird situation, but at the end of it, the blame all falls on Candace.
Yeah.
She's the adult.
But I mean, if Grandis was there, why didn't Grandis say anything about Candace buying it?
Because none of them care. They all are. That's how they roll. They're cool with it. I thought, you know, another interesting thing H said too, since we're on the Grandis train, was about Grandis was loading minutes onto her cell phone. We all know what kind of phone you can load minutes onto.
Yep.
A burner phone, and you have a burner phone because you don't want that phone to be tracked. Now, I'm not saying that that's not just her phone and that's how she rolls. Okay, that's quite possible, but that's another one of them strange coincidences that she happened to be loading minutes on the day Summer disappeared.
Oh, Lisa came up with another theory there, John. She says H is not the first boy Candace has been overly fond of.
Is that right?
Really?
I didn't know that.
Neither did I.
I'm not shocked by that, but I didn't know
me
that.
either. In all honesty, me either. I'm not really surprised with the things that she said and done to my son, that there would have been others. I'm really not that surprised.
Right.
But it's still disgusting.
Oh, it's horrible.
Especially the part where she talks about my son's nether regions on Facebook underneath a comment section. Like, are you serious?
I haven't seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You need to send that to me.
If I could get back on it, I would. But that Facebook has been shut down.
See, a lot of that stuff's gone now. And it used to be, it was open forever, and I should have started copying it when I seen it.
You're not the only one.
I still have, though, the text about the masturbation.
That's basically what I'm talking about, that there.
Okay, I have those.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that if that's what she's saying to him on open comment sections. What did she say to him through private messaging?
That's a very good point. If she's willing to put that out there like that, then yeah, there's a good chance it went a lot further than that when eyes weren't on her.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Do you have any recent pictures of the property from this year? Because I keep getting 2021 and 2019 and something and pictures that were taken and basically the same thing you're getting off of Google Earth and Google Maps.
I have some pictures of the inside where it's been renovated.
Well, I kind of figured they were renovating it just by the way it looked with the initial CM interview when he was at their house. But I'm just curious what the property looks like now, because there's a lot of rumors and things going on that the camper's not there no more. The red vehicle isn't there anymore, and I just want to see if it was.
I don't. I'd like to know that too. I'd like to know, is the bus still there, you think?
From the pictures that I've been able to get from, like I said, Google Earth and Tennessee Property Viewer, Google Maps, it doesn't look like the bus is there, but it could be hidden under the tree line where the truck is sitting.
Right.
Because, like I said, on any of the Googles, I cannot get down that road for some reason.
Right.
But any other road that's a road like that, you can just drop the guy on it and you can go right down it without a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of confused of why they even took that option off.
I don't know. I see when I started, I've never been able to get Google Earth to go down Ben Hill Road. It stops right there on the picture I showed you.
I don't know. Apparently Grandis moved in with a friend and took the camper with her. And Nina's Angels was saying the camper was sold last year. So you see the inconsistencies.
Uncle David says road trip in a drone.
Road trip. If I had the money, I would.
Well, me and him both have one. We might have to do that.
Definitely. I mean, I would love to see it. I mean, it's just because, like I said, I'm trying to get to know the land and layout of where this little girl was born, raised, and played.
Right.
Get a moment to step back and see her as the human that she is and not the case number that she is now.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps you understand and to see the environment. Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. I mean, to be able to understand be able to even have an inkling or a theory on what happened, you got to start from the beginning.
Well, I can't get over the dogs, period.
No, they cannot. I believe what you're hearing in my background, because I have a very sensitive mic, is my computer and my fan running.
I don't hear shit.
Oh no, it comes through on YouTube. But I have a very sensitive mic. Not bad for a $20 freaking webcam.
Right. I think it's all good. Let's get this out of the way too.
Okay.
Is Jose dead?
Yes.
How do you know?
I know someone who is part of that family.
You're 100% sure?
110.
Candace has made the statement that she wasn't sure that was Jose.
It is.
How could she not be sure?
Well, it's what happens when you're constantly drunk or stoned.
Yeah, but I mean,
or down.
Come on, Andrew. The damn dude lived with her for quite a while. She knows that was Jose.
Oh yeah, I know for a fact she knows that it was Jose. But my problem is why is she gonna sit there and state, "Oh, I'm not sure"? Yeah, you do. You know. Why are you hiding it now? Let the
I
man.
know the answer. Do you want to know the answer to that?
What's up?
Because of the shit Jose said.
Yo?
Well, Jose talked about going to feed the dogs, and by the time you scoop the dog food out, there were roaches running up your arm.
Listen, I can understand. Listen, roaches aren't that big of a deal, no matter where you live. But if you take care of them, if you take care of it and do the proper steps, they're not going to spread like that. Like,
I don't.
roaches.
Do you think he added some onto that, or do you think that was the truth?
I think I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I didn't know a lot about Jose's past before I met him until, a certain person blew his shit up.
Right. Was when Jose came down on that road trip, was he the emotional mess he made himself out to be?
No, he wasn't even. Listen, he wasn't even supposed to go. He made the choice the day we were leaving.
What about all that where he talks about you were talking to Candace and Grandis and making sure they understood how emotionally fragile he was and his state of mind and all that?
I only told him just to be careful with him because he likes to drink a lot, and there might be other things in his mind of why he does it. I'm not sure. Just be easy with him.
What was in the back of the U-Haul?
Furniture, clothes, half a house.
Jose.
Jeffy.
They rode in the back, both of them?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just Jose.
No, they took turns.
God, that would suck.
No, Jeffy slept because his recliner was the last thing to be loaded on, and there was enough room to recline it back. Jeffy slept.
Yeah.
You got to remember, Jeffy works 60 to 70 hours a week.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously he won't catch a nap when he could catch a nap. And what better place to do it than, in a pure dark box?
Andrew, that was 2-3+ years ago, right?
Yep.
Tell us the truth. What was the trip for?
Because we were trying to move down there.
Oh, come on, Andrew. Breaking news. JDTC. Andrew Hiltz, what was the trip really about?
The trip was we were really trying to move down there.
Oh, horse.
I wanted to move. Listen, I wanted to go down because it's very, very expensive for me to come up with the money for a 24-hour trip to go down and back and find somebody who has a reliable car or rent a car and somebody to drive me down there to pick him up every freaking Tennessee summer. So we were going to move down there so the girls could get to know their brother, have the schooling down there, as much as that town is crud, the schooling down there is a hell of a lot better than up here. By far.
Let me tell you my theory. Y'all had a bunch of dope and left Jose behind to distribute it.
No. Come
on, Andrew.
No, the only dope I had on me was a dime bag.
There ain't no proof that they can pull out on you.
No, the only thing I had on me was a dime bag, and that was because I was sitting on that for a good 6 months. I don't smoke like that.
Okay. Why would you just bring a dime bag if you're moving to Tennessee?
Because in all honesty, bud, I didn't even know it was in there until I went and got stuff to move in here from the storage unit that we had out here.
I'm going to trip you up eventually on this shit.
Well, listen, bud, you don't know what you got. You're just grabbing and going.
I just don't get. The problem I have with it the most ain't with y'all moving and all that. I don't get how Jose went from New York to Tennessee, didn't know a damn person, and ended up. You said, how long were y'all there total?
We were only there for, I'd say, about 8 hours.
In 8 hours, he's moving in with Candace. That's strange to me.
He didn't, and from what I understand, okay, is that he didn't want to make the trip back up here because he said his family didn't, disowned him. He had nothing up here. He wanted to treat it as the next step in his trip to get closer to his girlfriend in the Philippines, which of course later I found out that they broke up. And he stayed in Alaska where he was working at the cannery.
Was he putting on about how emotionally just wrecked he was at that time?
At the time, he was perfectly fine. Overtired like the rest of us, but he was perfectly good.
So he did embellish a lot then.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your feeling of that's the first time you ever met Candace Grandis, any of them, right?
Yeah. And Candace looks a lot like somebody that I know here.
Yeah.
And I don't like that person here. And that was my first, no way in hell.
Right.
She did offer all of us to go up there until the house was ready. And we said no.
Her.
Yeah, and we said no.
How many people total did she offer that to?
Everybody that was with me.
How many was that?
You had me, my old lady, R2, Jeffy, his girlfriend, her 4, and Jeffy's friend, the other 2 drivers that we had with us. And Jose.
Damn, I didn't count. How many was that?
A lot.
How many kids were there?
There was 6 altogether.
Kids?
Yep.
My God, and at least 6. About how many adults?
2, 6.
So she was going to let 12 people stay with her.
13 counting Jose. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Wow.
But yeah. But we all were like, nope.
Why?
Like I said, Candace looks a lot like somebody we don't like up here. And we were like, no. Not happening. And at that moment in time, we were just like completely done with the whole thing.
Did you ever go to her house?
No.
No.
The only one that's ever went to her house is Jose.
And 8.
Out of us that went down there.
Right. How long did Jose stay?
He was there. I believe he left in October, if I remember correctly, right?
And y'all went down in.
So we were all down there September 18th.
So a lot of people thought he stayed a long time, but it wasn't but a few weeks, right?
Yeah. We arrived in Tennessee the 18th.
And I'm assuming he probably, because he had started a job down there, right?
Yeah.
And Grandis was taking him to work.
From what I hear, yeah.
So I'm guessing when Don come home is the reason Jose ended up leaving.
Well, I got a call shortly after we got back up here, a few weeks or so after we got back up here, from Allison that her and Candace got into it, and Jose and Don got into a fight, and I'm like, okay.
So the fight between Allison and Candace was pretty much over Jose, right?
Yes.
So Jose is what I'm assuming had been messing with Candace too, and Allison didn't like that.
Well, from my understanding is that about a week, maybe less after we got back here, because my children were still under the 14-day quarantine because we traveled to what New York claimed as a no travel zone at the time due to COVID. So they had to do a 14-day quarantine. We all did. That her and Jose got together.
Allison.
And then shortly after that, I guess Allison went to the bathroom and caught Candace's hands down Jose's pants.
Really?
Yep.
You've never told me that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that caused a fight between them two and them to no longer be friends. And then I guess that Don and Jose got into a fist fight, and then Jose left there and wound up in Alaska, where apparently he worked at the cannery, and he wound up knocking up some girl up there.
What?
Nobody spoke to the LE. Never came to me to speak about anything.
No.
No. Sorry, I have your chat on my other channel. So
That's
you got me in two different places today.
That's. I'm kind of still in shock over the Candace's hands down Jose's pants.
But you got to also understand, it ain't the first time Jose. I think, in all actuality, Jose initiated it, because it ain't the first time that boy has gone off after, quote unquote, my sloppy seconds.
You didn't you also tell me Jose had kind of a history of going into households with single women and children and stuff?
He, from what I understand, he has a history of going after women in general. And it just so happened that the woman he tried to date beforehand was my baby mama. And then after that, he tried to get with my now ex-wife while I was still married to her.
Allison.
No. I was never married to Allison.
Who?
Her and I only dated for 6 months while she was pregnant.
Were you in Tennessee then, or was she in New York?
She was here in New York. Tennessee, she illegally left Tennessee when Hunter was 7.
So why was she? Did she have family in New York?
She's got, I believe, all her family moved down there, of what's still alive anyway.
Who's the first one to go down? Her?
Her, Grand Bun, and Sherry with the kids.
So when H was 7,
Yep.
she decided to up and move. You couldn't do anything.
I didn't know she moved. I didn't know she moved until about a week later, because I couldn't. Because I went to go pick up Hunter for my visitation, and I just took it as she wasn't home because curtains were still up. So
did she do that as a screw you to you, or was there another?
no, they don't like the Grand Bun and Sherry and don't like me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they can't stand me because I choose not to follow their bullshit, and I call them out on it all the time.
They're some gossipers too, ain't they?
Oh yeah, they're your wonderful, good old, chatty Cathys.
They were made to be on YouTube and bullshit.
Allison has taken a trip to New York. She actually had to take them at the end of July, because we have what we call a fetch order in place. I will go get him, and then she will come up here to get Hunter.
Okay. That's how the custody was set up.
Yes. And the only reason why it was set up that way is because the schools are better. Like I said, the schools are better down there. Hunter had his own life down there, and he was doing good at the time. And hold on. Hello. No, yes, why?
Go ahead and take it, Andrew.
Started Friday. Nope, Friday. Yeah, nope, Friday. All right, I'm in the middle of something. Let me call you back.
Y'all bear with us. Andrew has a phone call.
All right, bye. Typical Monday. Sorry.
It happens.
But no, Allison, as for moving up here or taking a trip up here anytime soon, I highly doubt it. Where is she going to come up with the money?
It seems like she's struggling right now, huh?
Well, she quit her job at Walmart to work from home. But she was making, from what my understanding is, she was making more working at Walmart than she is making at working from home.
Yeah, you would have thought. I hear the Walmart benefits are excellent.
Well, that's where Jeffy works. He's overnight,
Yeah,
but he's been there for decades.
he's the one that had the job transferred down to Tennessee when y'all
Yes,
took your
he
trip.
was trying to. We had it to where he was going to get transferred down to the same store as Allison. But before the transfer could even go through, we were already back here,
That's
where we had our friends and our family. And I
God,
don't know the house in Kingsport. I just know it was in the Kingsport area. Jeffy was in control of the finances, the location, and everything because it was his 401k plus his bonus. So he was the one basically footing the bill for the whole trip. So he has all that intel somewhere in his phone. It's just been buried over the years.
Andrew, I'm not going to say that you're telling a lie. I'm not going to do that. But God, that story is so hard to believe.
Oh, trust and believe. Trust and believe. It's hard to believe it even to this day, but the factor is that's the way it went. We weren't in control.
I mean, you're looking at a man transferred his job. You got all these kids. You made this long ass trip. I'm sure you've had to set up utilities.
Everything was according to what Jeffy said. He was going to be doing that Monday.
So is it Jeffy that ultimately made the decision not to stay?
Jeff had the control of the money, and he ultimately just said, "You know what? We're just going to go back home." And he brought it up took it up as a vote for all of us, and we all just said, "Screw it, we're going to go back up here."
So everybody voted to do that?
Yeah, everybody but Jose, because Jose's his own person. He does what he wants. Nobody forced him. Nobody, like I said at the beginning, he was not even supposed to go with us.
It's just so strange to look at it from the outside. I'm sure you can understand that.
Oh yeah, I can understand it. I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful that we did come back up here, given the light of other things going on. But at the end of the day, it would have been nice to, be closer to Hunter. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten into so much crap as he's into now. But, I took it as a sign that, what, it wasn't meant to be.
Okay. We're going to let it rest and move on. Okay. That's your story and you're sticking to it.
Oh,
when you decide to
listen, them kids love that trip back and forth. They loved it.
Oh, my kids would have hated it.
Well, you got to understand, that was the first time my kids were actually out of state in their lives. That was the first time ever. They loved it.
So they were excited to see new stuff and all that.
Yeah.
I could see that. How are the kids?
Oh, they're doing.
Good.
Pain in the butt, but they're doing. I no longer have a 9-year-old. She's 10 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got a daughter the same age as mine. She's 9. She'll be 10 in October.
Yeah, my daughter's no longer 9. She just turned 10 a couple weeks ago.
She's a handful, ain't she?
Oh, trust and believe. She's got, her mom's full throttle, and I don't care from me. So it's insane.
My daughter, I got videos and stuff of when she was Summer's. When Summer disappeared, 5, 6, or around that age. And I tell you, I really feel like that's why I have gotten into this so deep, is because I could not imagine that my little girl being gone and not knowing where she's at. It just breaks my heart.
Yeah. I mean,
thinking about it.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I got my kids low jacked.
I've said for a long time, you can chip your dog I would chip my child if they would let me.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good idea. I think you should be able to chip your child, and then at 18, they can have it removed if they want.
Oh no, I got one of those little GPSs that you can, magnet ones that you can stick to a car or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I got a couple of those hidden in their book bag that they don't know about.
That's a good idea.
So as long as I know where their book bag is, I know where they are.
Yeah. When they get older, I don't know if you let them have phones or not, but you can track them by their phone too.
Oh, they got phones. I just don't let them take them to school
Right.
because they got a bad habit of letting other children play on them.
Yeah, I like to hope. I like to think there's still hope that somebody come across Summer and seen the situation
Exactly.
and maybe took her for the right reason. But the longer this goes on, I just it's hard to believe that somebody could pull that off.
Oh yeah. You got a 12-month subscriber, by the way. Congratulations.
Awesome. I didn't see it.
And when did Grand Bun say that Summer was dead?
She slipped up and said it. I've heard that.
Really?
Yes, I've heard the actual recording of it. She said it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff that points Allison's way. A lot. And I think it is so odd. What was the lady's name that passed? I'm sorry, it's not coming to me right now. Leslie. So odd that she's gone, and that's the only one that could have verified where she was at.
Yep. And then hang on. Jose said you didn't talk to him for 3 years when he did the interview. He did the interview with Justin last year?
Well, we know he had talked to you sooner.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's humanly implausible.
So we know about the trip. We know that happened.
Yep.
And that wasn't that long in between.
It was just coming up about I think it was about this time last year.
I still don't understand what Jose's motivation for coming on YouTube was.
I don't either, other than, to talk about what happened within that short time he was there and also, the trip. But outside of that, I don't see where the relevancy of it was.
I know they did take up some money for him.
Yep.
So I think that's what a lot of people seem to be doing lately is they're willing to talk because there's going to be a Cash App scrolling the whole time they're doing it.
Oh yeah. I was asked, can I confirm that H was what is it? I can't see. Somebody else commented.
With Leslie when she died.
Yes, he was.
Was he really? I didn't realize that.
I got the call. 1 a.m.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got the call at 1 a.m.
What happened exactly?
A mixture of COVID and a few other health problems.
Oh, I didn't realize it was COVID related.
Yep.
Okay.
But from what my understanding is that Mark's number 6 or 5 that has passed away surrounding this case.
Is there that many?
From my understanding, it's about 5 people that are surrounding the case that passed away.
I know Jose, Leslie, and the guy. I think wasn't there somebody related to Dawn or knew Dawn? Somebody was gone, right?
Yep, somebody.
Who's the other ones?
Somebody said replying to somebody else in here. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to get back and find out. Messy Jesse had sent you $10, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Messy Jesse.
I told you I'm here with you, and I'm also over on my second channel on my phone as well. Give you an extra view.
You're streaming this?
No. My other channel's not for normal streaming. That I actually have it set up so I can, when I get a better computer, I'm gonna start doing gaming on that channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that one's strictly just for gaming. I'm just over here giving you the likes and the views.
What are you doing on your regular channel?
Today was just a normal podcast. We are going over the Summer Wells case though. Usually.
Anything specific?
We're actually like I said, we're digging in from where we're digging in from starting with the property, the history of the property, and we're going into hopefully try to figure out what happened prior to her going missing, into the day that she's missing, and then what's happened since. Try to knock out some of the rumors and the garbage to see if we can't make some sense out of a case that is all 9 shades of screwed.
Have you seen the history of the property? Have you pulled it up? You can do it.
Yes,
I have a thing called Checkmate. It's a background checking thing, and you can actually do addresses when you do it. It'll show you who lived there, when it was sold, property taxes, value.
I actually used Tennessee Property Viewer.
Okay.
And I seen that in 93 it was vacant. And then a quick what is it there? Some quick deed was made in 05 and again in 10.
What I seen when I pulled it up was that I thought was the most interesting is it shows who's lived there.
Really?
And it pulled up a name of Dawn's, and to the best I can tell, and I'm not positive, that's why I haven't brought more of this out. The best I can tell, it seems to be his brother-in-law, possibly, and he's a RSO.
Yeah, I did hear about that, but I did not have any confirmation that he was even on the property until just now.
Well, that's what that says. So apparently there's some reason it links his name to that property.
Now, I have a question for you right quick. Is Don a junior?
Yes.
All right, because it did show up on the on Tennessee Property Viewer that the deed is in a Don Wesley Jr. John Wells Wesley Jr. Yeah.
When you get the background service I use, when you look at it,
it
brings up him, his dad, and his son. And it's so weird because you'll see lists of charges. I mean, just
wow.
There are so many of them, and it's all like Donald Wells, Donald Wesley Wells, Donald Wells Jr., Donald. It's so many of them. It's almost impossible to tell which one of them actually did what.
Because I have a question for you.
What?
Okay, you pulled that up, which is awesome, by the way. Now, can you verify? Because I have an assumption that the property was vacant in 93.
I would have to look it up.
All right.
I remember seeing all the people that had lived there.
Yeah.
I didn't check to see, if there were gaps in when people lived there.
All right. Because it also states in 77, the property was bought, and then again, literally within a few months' time, was bought by somebody else.
Really?
77.
That's kind of odd, ain't it?
Yeah, that's why I said I was diving into the property itself to try to figure out where this little girl, how she lived.
Right.
The
dude, from the picture I get, it was rough. I mean, you've seen all the people that was around them. JSB, Fred Hill.
Their property line. Their property line. The Wells property line and JSB's property line only differ by about 20 feet.
Let me bring this up.
20 feet, if not a little more.
Hold on.
Because you got to remember, I was looking at this through Property Viewer, so it could be a bit more than that. but their lines differ.
So which direction is her property?
Go to the right down Ben Hill.
Hey, this is
I see Beach Creek.
here's Beach Creek.
Ben
Ben
Hill.
Hill. Right here's Dawn's house. Right here, that's the circle driveway, right?
Yep.
Okay, which direction is her land?
Her direction from Ben Hill, from Don's property, is to, it's diagonal from him.
So it's down.
Yep.
Okay.
It's if you look, you'll see that there is a few houses in the trees.
Yeah.
That's their property.
Okay.
That's JBS's property. But if you
Well,
also go ahead.
you would think it was her property, but truth be known, she don't own shit.
Exactly.
I always thought that was odd how she had this big hatred of anybody buying property around there and moving in. Like,
But if you go on Tennessee Property Viewer and you type in that address, it'll show you the property line. It is weird.
it's 125, right?
Yeah, if you type in Ben Hill on Tennessee Property Viewer, you got to type it in Ben Hill Road, 125,
Mm-hmm.
and it will show the outline of the property line. And the way the property line is, it's weird.
How much property is it? Do you know?
16.
Acres?
Yep.
And it comes out to his parents' name, right?
I believe so.
That's who owns it is Andy's mom and dad.
Yeah. Because I
That's
believe
fine.
I had gone over that when I was going over the property lines. I believe one of my subs had mentioned that.
That's why I found it so odd how she talks about that property. Like, it's really strange to me that she's strange as hell to me anyway.
Oh yeah. But like I said, by the way that it looks between the properties, it top down view, it looks like it's about 20 feet or so between the lines outside of the road. But it could be a bit further than that if you're actually standing there in real life.
What do you think about her son as a suspect?
I mean, from what I understand, he's a Marine. He just got done with boot camp.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, if he had anything to do with it, the U.S. Army ain't going to take him.
Oh, bullshit.
Really?
If he did it, they'll take him. And not only will they, he'll get in trouble. I've heard other people say that, and they're not going to protect him if he took Summer. I guarantee you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, in my belief, I don't know if the U.S. Army, military, what have you, would take anybody that was labeled as a suspect in a case.
Right. I mean they've not named anybody a suspect.
All right.
I was just saying, if you look at statistics, he makes a great suspect.
Yeah.
A non-biological male that, lives close to her, has access to the area. He knows the woods around there really well. The dogs might not bark at him and make a big fuss if he's around because they know him. And Summer knew him very well. He would make a great suspect.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I mean, was he even around that property around the time?
Yes, he heard the scream.
Now, here's my thing. Has the scream been verified?
No, the police think the scream is bullshit. Ronnie Lawson totally blows it off. I have video clips of him saying he thinks that has nothing to do with Summer's case. Now, I don't know if that's because he knows something we don't, or if that's because he just thinks Jody Sue's full of shit.
True. Now,
why dismiss the scream like that?
yeah. But I'm just saying, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how plausible, being where the buildings are for JBS and being where Summer was, how plausible is it to hear that scream? If there was one.
Well, she kind of did a little thing where she showed it like a reenactment type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could hear it. But I don't know. I don't buy it. I really don't. I think it was an attention grab, a reason to get on the news. You know,
I think that would have been something that would have been covered as soon as right then and there about it.
you would think. And it seems like she reported that a little late too, if I remember. I know it didn't come up for a while after Summer had disappeared. Hold on, Andrew. Somebody wants you to nip something in the bud. I was going.
Yeah, about where my brother was when I was down there. My brother was not with me, and my brother's irrelevant to this case.
Okay, there we go. Nipped it in the bud. Thank you.
And just to be on the safe side, we're going to nip it even further. My brother is not on the registry for doing something bad. He's on the registry because of his race. He is currently with the woman that he supposedly did it to, and they're married and have 2 beautiful children. The mother is old school Hispanic and believes that her daughters should be with Hispanic men. And given that my brother is white, she frowned upon it and made a choice that she regrets to this day.
So what was his charge?
He just turned 18 and she just turned 17.
See,
So they nicked him with that because Mama Dukes found out he was white and not Hispanic, and she didn't like that. So yeah, she screwed him for the rest of his life.
those ages are accurate.
Yes.
See, now I know that happened.
Listen, I'm not racist or nothing, but that's why I don't play with Latinos. I know better.
So the mom didn't like it, and to stop it, she did that.
Yep.
How
Because
long is he on the registry for?
the remainder of his life.
Really?
Yeah. And this was back when he was 18, when he was just turned 18, and he's now pushing 40. But he's with her and married to her now, and they have 2 beautiful kids.
Wow.
And the mother, as in his mother-in-law, every time she sees him, she apologizes to him for it.
Well, you would think there should be a way to fix that.
There is. It's just
Expensive.
he can't really afford his lawyer anymore. Due to his many years of roofing, it screwed him up now to where he's on workman's comp and looking at SSD for the rest of his life.
Right.
So,
Well,
yeah,
I mean, if those were the circumstances, what you just told me, that's ridiculous. And you know,
the sad thing is that's how it went. It really is. And I mean, it's not right. It's not cool.
but the charges are for his wife.
Yeah. Now they were just dating back then. Now
Right.
now they're married. They have 2 beautiful kids. Whole 9.
So he was over 18 and she was 17.
Yep.
You're sure?
110.
Well, that's a crime that you'd have to be labeled like that for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And I don't stick up. Listen, I don't stick up for RSOs. None of that. And you know it. If you're a scumbag, you're a scumbag. But the only reason why I stick up for my brother is because, listen, when he first told me, I didn't believe him. But when his now mother-in-law came out and said and told me the same exact thing he told me, I tend to believe her because she's the one that did it.
Well, I don't blame you for taking up for your brother. And if those are the circumstances, you know, you're right.
Listen,
He shouldn't be on no registry for life for being with a 17-year-old when he was 18.
yeah.
No.
But listen, here's the thing though. For the longest time, I did not even talk to him because of it until his now mother-in-law told me what she did and how she regrets it. I didn't talk to him for the longest time, but I mean years.
So getting back to Summer.
Yeah.
Your direction is somebody might have came and took her, and it was somebody they knew.
Yeah. But yet again, like I stated earlier, it had to also do with the factor is that Grandis was there for both girls going missing, Rose and Summer. So the theory of somebody coming to get her does not sound that far-fetched, given about you know all the people that are surrounded with it and the histories that we know on them
Right.
now. But why hasn't anybody dove deep into Grandis's history when she was around when Rose went missing and now around when Summer's missing?
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that follow that same line that you're on, and they say, you know, the Rose thing seemed to not be 1/10 as blowed up as Summer's case, and that they weren't expecting the response they got in Summer's case. They thought, they'd already pulled it off with Rose. It seemed not to be a huge deal, and they got away with it, so they tried to do it with Summer. That's possible. And the interesting thing about Rose is, trafficking, I'm sure they have types they look for. Rose was tiny. Rose was 5 foot tall and like 100 pounds or so.
But wasn't she a full adult?
I'm sorry. She was 21, I think.
Okay. But she was 5 foot something?
5 foot even.
Even.
Little.
So she could have been mistaken as a child.
Or taken because she was the size of a child. That's probably appealing to traffickers, I would assume. Right?
Yeah.
I always wondered, they found Rose's car at this truck stop parking lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered if they checked to see where the seat was at, if it was up or back, because being 5 foot tall, she'd have had to have that seat all the way up to drive that car.
Exactly.
So if they got in that car and the seat was back, it would tell you that somebody else took that car to where it was found.
Exactly. But yet again, it wouldn't be that hard to move the seat back up once you get out either.
Right.
But who's gonna? But I'm just trying to think. In the mix of a crime, you're not gonna really think about the small details.
Right.
Take it from somebody
you wouldn't have thought to do that.
Yeah. Like I said, take it from somebody who knows. I got caught due to a fingerprint or 5 left behind at a crime scene.
Have you ever watched any of the stuff on Rose's case?
No, actually. I only caught where Grandis was around when Rose went missing, and that she was around when Summer went missing, and that was about as far as I got with that.
See, I've tried to find everything I could on Rose's disappearance, and I've watched it all. And I'm telling you, the police that are investigating her case, they give me the vibe that they think she possibly ran off.
Well, I'm not understanding. She had a perfectly good vehicle. Why would she leave it at a truck stop and not keep going?
Well, and it'd be very hard to stay gone this long too without somebody or something finding you. It's been a long time.
Know JSB.
What about JSB?
Oh, somebody asked if I know her, and I don't.
Yeah, we've went through that before.
Yeah. But I hate to cut you short, bud. I do have to go pick up a child for their appointment.
All right, man. I appreciate you stopping by.
Not a problem, brother. We can link up again tomorrow if you like. I got nothing.
Okay, man. Hit my email up, or I'm on Messenger for under John Davis True Crime. You can get to me that way.
All right, I got you, brother.
I'll see you.
All right, later.
All right, y'all. That was Andrew Hiltz. You know, I seen he was on this morning, and he's good about coming on. So I thought we'd bring him on and talk to him for a minute. You know, maybe see if we learned something new. I learned something new. I don't know if all y'all were there when he said it, but he said that Allison had caught Candace with Jose doing something. Is it true? I don't know. But Allison is super pissed at Candace over something. So to me, that would kind of make sense, right? I don't know. I thought I would share something else with y'all too. This is something that I seen the other day. Hold on a second. No, I'm not going to do it. I should do it, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to save it for another day. We've done almost an hour and a half, and we got a lot of people here. I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you. And I got a list of people I want to thank also. I want to thank all our new members, because we got some. We got Stephanie Lenore, Cursed with Curiosity, Banjo Lady, Mary Gross, and Michelle Priestman. Thank you, guys. Thank everybody that supports the channel, everybody that hits the like, everybody that subscribes, everybody that watches the videos. I got a couple of videos already loaded. I just got to release them. So there will be at least 2 this week. I'm working on a third. I'm really trying not to put any bullshit out. I'm trying to make everything I put out facts, okay? A lot of people seem to get upset over my last video because I had said that they were getting income from food stamps. People were saying they never got food stamps. Well, even if they didn't, Don's salary of whatever it was, $34,000 a year, and his trait was plenty enough that they should have been able to provide a much healthier environment for them kids than they did. I also want to thank all the people that give supers too. I appreciate it. It allows me to have access to background checks. Everybody that supports me and helps me, I appreciate it. And that was One Love, Victim of Huckleberry 2, Messy Jessie, Bonnie Bailey, Suzette Brown, and Jeannie 2521. Thank every one of you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the support. You know, I try to do this the right way, and it's not free. You know, I have to pay this out of my pocket for background checks, for streaming software to come on lives and do all this. And I appreciate everybody that helps me, because it is greatly appreciated. And, you know, it helps me try to put on a better show for all you guys, you know. And everybody, remember Summer. You know, I think a lot of the time Summer gets lost in the nonsense, and you know, I'm probably guilty of it too. But you know, that's the only reason I really even started YouTube, is because we want this little girl found. Look at that. That's one of my favorite pictures of Summer right there. She seems so happy, and I love to see her happy. You know. And we don't know that she ain't still out there. So everybody, you know, don't give up. There's always hope. Until we are out of hope, we always have hope that Summer could come home one day. You know, like I said, everybody, thanks for the support. We appreciate it. Brandy's been working a lot lately. She's been really busy, so she ain't been able to be on. So I've been kind of having to do it solo and trying to, you know, keep you guys entertained. I hope you enjoyed the live. And I know a lot of people don't agree with Andrew and get mad about, you know, him lying and this and that. You know, you can disagree with people and still have a conversation with them, because at the end of the day, that's how you learn things, is to talk to people. You can't just say, I'm not talking to them because they're going to lie and this and that. you talk to them, you have a conversation, and you never know. That's why I'm not against Don and Candace going on these channels, because innocent or guilty, the more they talk, the more we learn about Summer. And, you know, in the end, that's what it's about. It's about finding Summer. On June 15th, 2021, she did not disappear. She didn't walk into a wormhole. Bigfoot didn't take her. There was no alien. And that's a fact, okay? I think at this point we can pretty much rule out that she walked off. I think we can rule out that there was a stranger abduction. I mean, I think most everybody would agree with that. That's not what happened. No stranger just rolled up to Ben Hill and pulled her out of that basement or off her swing. That didn't happen, okay? I'm not going to be naive and act like it did. This has got to break eventually. And when it does, I hope we're all there, and I hope whatever the outcome is, there's justice for Summer, justice for whatever's happened. I still, you know, I've seen other people say, you know, maybe it was somebody from the outside that seen the situation and thought they were doing the right thing and took her and are trying to give her a better life. I pray every night that's what happened. And until we know she's not with us, we need to pretend like she is for sure. Keep your eyes open, especially a lot of you that live right in that area. You know, who knows? We don't know, you know, and until we do, we got to keep looking. We have to. I appreciate everybody for coming. Thanks to the people that helped mod, and thanks to everybody for the nice wishes. Liplock No More, thank you for being here. If I missed some other creators, I'm sorry. Nana's Angels, thank you for being here. Thanks everybody for coming. This is going to be my thing. Every week you're going to see me here at 11 on Monday. And 99% of the time we're going to be talking about what happened to Summer. I'll try to get more guests on that have some connection, because it's really good to have those people on. I know a lot of people don't like Andrew. I get it. But like I said, we don't have to like somebody to have a respectful conversation and to try to find something. And that's what it's all about. It's about finding Summer. And I just want to say thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate all the support. And, you know, we'll see you soon. I'm sure I'm going to do another live this week. I'm going to try to start giving you guys more of a warning. But everybody make sure you turn on your notifications. That way when I do go live, you know it. Thanks, everybody. God bless all of you. Have a great week.